How wonderful to be here. Haywards Primary. I've never been here before. It's a wonderful welcome I've had this morning from Miss Hammond and everybody. My name is David. You can call me David. Hello, everybody. Thank you. And I've got some stories that come from around the world. Wonderful stories. Let's begin. Let's begin with a story from West Africa. A story which tells us how we got the stories. Will you help me?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of Anansi? Anansi is a spider who can change into a man, and a man who can change back into a spider. Wow. Anansi was selfish and greedy. Anansi wanted all of the knowledge in the world, everything that everyone knows, and he knows where to find it. He would find it in stories. So Anansi, he tricked people out of their stories. He stole stories from the sky god. He got all of the stories in the world. Ha ha! I've got all of the stories in the world. Where shall I hide them so no one else can have them? I'll put them in a box. And Anansi filled the box with all of the stories, and then he tied the box to his round belly. And with his 8 legs, Anansi thought, I will climb the tallest tree in the whole forest, and I will hide the stories at the top, where no one else could get them. And Anansi began to climb up the tall trunk of the tall tree, higher and higher and higher. And as he got higher, he had a problem, because the box that was tied to his belly began to bang against the trunk of the tree. Bang, bang, bang. It was so difficult. He climbed higher and higher and higher. But the box kept banging against the trunk of the tree. Bang, bang, bang. And then he heard a voice below. He heard children. Down below, they were laughing. And Anansi looked down. Are you laughing at me? Yes, we're laughing at you, said all the children. We're laughing at you, Anansi. Well, you shouldn't laugh at me. I've got all of the knowledge in the world. But the children said, you're a fool, Anansi. What do you mean, said Anansi. Why, said the children, the box keeps knocking against the trunk of the tree. You shouldn't have tied it to your belly. You should have tied it to your back. And Anansi knew that the children were right. You can't know more than me. And he was so cross, he took that box off his belly and he threw it down at the children. And they went flying down and down and down towards them. And the children, ooh! But then the box knocked into a branch of the tree and burst open. And all of the stories flew out. Some of the stories settled down on the children. Some of the stories were carried away by the breeze to the east. And others carried to the west. Some went across oceans and deserts. Some went across forests and mountain ranges. Stories floated with the breeze to the north and the south, and all around the world. After a long time, the stories settled on forests and mountains, deserts and oceans. They settled on creatures that crawled and swam and flew. They settled on all of the people in all of the world. And that is how we got all of the stories. It was all thanks to the children. That's what they say in West Africa. And Anansi, he shouldn't have been so greedy, should he? Can't keep all of the stories for yourself. We can learn lots of things from stories. There's so much knowledge in stories. Now this story, I'm about to tell you now, I need so much help from you. So all of the children and all of the staff, get your hands ready, get your voices ready, because this is a story that joins in. You can join in, and it gets faster and faster and faster. So get ready. It's a story that comes from, well, here we are in England, just a short hop away, Poland. And this is the story of, well, let's find out. Can you say after me? Dawno, dawno temu. Long, long ago, there were an old man and an old woman, Krencipal and Krencipalka. And they lived in a falling down old house, and one day the house fell down and they had nothing. And Krencipal said to his wife, Krencipalka, what are we going to do? Let's make our way in the world, she said. So she put her basket on her arm, and Krencipal, he put his bag on his back, and they set off along the way. And along the way they went. They met a needle. Show me. Where are you going? Said the needle. We're making our way in the world. Take me with you all the way, and I will help you night and day. How will we carry you? In your hat. So Krencipal, he picked up the needle and he put it carefully in his hat. And along the way they went, with the needle in the hat. And along the way they went until they found a lobster. Where are you going? Said the lobster. We're making our way in the world. Take me with you all the way, and I will help you night and day. How will we carry you? Carefully, said the lobster. So Krencipalka, she picked up the lobster carefully so it wouldn't catch her fingers, and she put it in the basket over her arm. And with the needle in the hat and the lobster in the basket, along the way they went, until they met a chicken. Where are you going? Said the chicken. Can you help me? We're making our way in the world. Take me with you all the way, and I will help you night and day. How will we carry you in your sack? Said the chicken. So Krencipal, he picked up the chicken and he popped it in his sack and put it on his back. And with the, can you help me, with the needle in the hat and the lobster in the basket and the hen in the sack, along the way they went, until they met a quack, 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 quack. Where are you going? Said the duck. Can you help me? We're making our way in the world. Ready? Take me with you. Let me see your beaks or your bills. Take me with you all the way, and I will help you night and day. How will we carry you? In the sack with the chicken, said the duck. So Krencipal, he picked up the duck and he popped it in the sack with the chicken on his back. And with, can you get ready, get a bit faster now, with the needle in the hat and the lobster in the basket and the chicken in the sack and the duck in the sack, along the way they went. And along the way they went until they came to a pig, fat pig. Who can do the pig? Would you like to do the pig? You go like this. Can you do that? Stay where you are. You do every time we say pig, you do the pig. Can you show us how you're going to do it? Turn, hold it the other end. That's it. And again, every time we say pig. Are you ready? Everybody, along the way they went, with the needle in the hat and the lobster in the basket and the chicken in the sack and the duck in the sack and the pig in front with a grunt. That's right. Well, along the way they went until they came to a every time we say cow, get ready. Where are you going, said the cow. We're making our way in the world. Take me with you all the way, and I will help you night and day. How will we carry you? Why, oh, don't carry me, said the cow. I'll carry you. Krencipalka, she put the basket with the lobster in it over the cow's horn, and she climbed on the cow's back, and with the needle in the sack, and the lobster in the basket, and the chicken in the sack, and the duck in the sack, and the pig in front, and the cow carrying Krencipalka along the way they went until they came to a Everybody, are you ready? Where are you going, said the horse. We're making our way in the world. Hey, take me with you all the way, and I will help you night and day. How will we carry you? Oh, you don't carry me, said the big horse. I'll carry you. And Krencipal, he climbed onto the horse's back with the sack. What was in the sack? The chicken and the duck. And with the, get ready, with really fast now, the last time with the needle in the sack, the lobster in the basket, the chicken in the sack, and the duck in the sack, and the pig in front, and the cow carrying Krencipalka, and the horse carrying Krencipal. Along the way they went, until they came to a deep, dark forest. In the deep, dark forest, there in a clearing was the most beautiful big house, and the door was open. And they went in, and the house was empty. Why was it empty? Because a nasty, ugly, hairy goblin had frightened away the people who had lived there. And the goblin was living in there, but the goblin had just popped out. Krencipal and Krencipalka, they went into that beautiful house. They put the needle in the bench. They put the lobster in a bucket of water. They put the chicken in the kitchen and the duck in the hall. They put the pig in the side. They put the cow in the stall. And they put the horse in the stable. And there they were, sitting either side of the needle on that wooden bench, and they were roasting acorns for the pig. And as they roasted acorns for the pig, who should come home but the goblin? The goblin came in through the door and saw Krencipal and Krencipalka in front of the fire. What are you doing here? Oh, come in, said Krencipal and Krencipalka. Come in and sit between us on the bench. Well, the goblin went and he sat down right on that sharp-pointed needle. And the goblin, he jumped up. Ow, 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 cried the goblin. And he ran to the bucket of water to put some water where he had been stabbed by the needle. But when he put his hand in the bucket of water, he was pinched by the lobster. It crunched his bones. Ow, 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 cried the goblin, and he ran to the fire to get some ash to put upon his sore hand. But when he got to the fire, the acorns burst right in his face. Ow, 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 cried the goblin, and he ran to the stalls to get some straw to put upon his sore face. But when he got there, the cow tossed him with her horns, and he flew right through the air doing a somersault until he came into the stables, and the horse was waiting for him, and the horse, get ready, the horse kicked him with his hoof. He flew right through the house. As he came through the hall, the duck cried, "Quack, quack, 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 quack." And as he he came through the kitchen, the chicken cried, cluck, 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 and he flew right through the front door and landed face down outside. The goblin got to his feet, and he ran, and he ran, and he ran all the way to the underworld. When he got to the underworld, the other goblins who lived there in that strange dark place said, "What are you doing here? You've got that nice house up in the forest." "Oh, I'm not going back there," said the goblin. "I'm never going back there. When I went in, it was filled with horrible humans. Oh, there were two sitting on the bench, and they told me to sit down. But there was a cook under the bench who stabbed me with his fork. And I went to the bucket to get some water from where he'd stabbed me, and there in the bucket there was a tinker with a pair of pliers who pinched my fingers. And I went to the fire to get some ash to put upon my face and my fingers, and there was a soldier in the fire who shot me. So I went into the stalls to get some straw to put upon my face, and there was a haymaker with a pitchfork, and he pitched me right out of the stalls and into the stable. And there in the stable there was a blacksmith, and he struck me hard with his hammer. And I flew right through the house. I flew through the hall, and there was another human who cried, "Whack, whack, 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 whack him!" And I flew right through the kitchen. There was another one who went, "Chuck, chuck, 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 chuck him out!" And I flew right through the front door, and I got up and I ran. I tell you, I'm never going back to that house ever. And so it was that Krencipalka and Krencipal lived on in that house with the needle and the lobster and the chicken and the duck and the pig and the cow and the horse. And that story comes from Poland. It's the story of Krencipal and Krencipalka. Now they live in that beautiful house. It's so lovely. I know, because when I went to visit them, they told me that story. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the pig. A little pig in a round of applause. The cow. You've got the cow over there. Thank you very much for doing the cow. And for the horse. Thank you so much for doing the horse. All the way, Poland, across Asia, to China. Once upon a time, there were two brothers. The older one was selfish and the younger one was kind. And they lived with their old father, but one day their father died and the older brother took all of his father's land for himself, all of the chickens and all of the pigs. And there he lived, but the younger brother had nothing. The younger brother took an old basket and a knife, and that was all he got. And he went into the forest, and the younger kind brother chopped wood. And he took that wood in his basket and he sold it as firewood in the village. And in exchange for the firewood that he chopped in the forest, he just got a little bit of rice. Just enough for him to survive. He was poor. He had nothing. One day the younger brother climbed with his knife and his basket through the forest and up to a tall mountain. And he sat upon a rocky ledge. He looked towards the west, where the sun was going down. And as he sat there all alone, he suddenly felt a great rush of air above his head. And he looked up, and from where the sun was going down, there came a huge bird with wings of all colours shining. And the bird had wide open wings. And the bird flew down and landed beside him on a mountain top. Why do you sit here all alone? I'm poor. I have nothing. Is this true or is this false? It's true. I'm poor. I have nothing. Then climb on my back, and I will carry you to the island of the sun. There you may take one piece of gold, no more. So the young brother climbed onto the back of the beautiful bird. The bird opened its wings. Can you say after me? Can you show me your wings, everybody? Over the mountains, the great bird flew. Over the mountains, the great bird flew. Over the waters, the great bird flew. Over the forests, the great bird flew. To the island of the sun, the great bird flew. And as the bird flew down, carrying the young brother on his back, the sun set behind the island, and he saw that the island was covered with gold. The bird landed, and he climbed off the bird's back. So many pieces of gold. He took his basket, and he picked up one piece. He put it in his basket. Should I take another one? Why not? The bird said only one, and he remembered. And he turned and he climbed back onto the beautiful bird. The bird opened its wings. Over the waters, the great bird flew. Over the forests, the great bird flew. Over the mountains, the great bird flew. Back to the mountain top, the great bird flew. The bird landed there in the same place where they'd started. And the young brother got down and he took that piece of gold and he thanked the bird. And with that gold, he exchanged it for a little piece of land and just a few pigs and just a few chickens. And he did well. He worked hard. Soon he had more chickens and more pigs, and everyone respected him. Except for his older brother, who came and said, "Where did you get all of this? Where did you you get this land? Where did you get your pigs? Where did you get your chickens? Our father left it all for me. And the young brother, being kind, he told his older brother the truth. I want gold. Give me your knife and your old basket. And he took them, and the older brother went into the forest, and up the mountain he came, until he came to the mountain top. And there he sat, as the sun was setting in the west. And as he sat there all alone, he felt a rush of air above his head. And he looked up, and there was the most magnificent, brightly coloured bird, shining like the setting sun, as it flew down towards him and landed beside him. Why do you sit here all alone? I'm poor. I have nothing. Is this true or is this false? It's true, I'm poor, I have nothing. I just want some gold. I'm on my back, said the bird. I will carry you to the island of the sun. There you may take one piece of gold, no more. So the older, selfish, greedy brother, he climbed onto the back of the beautiful bird, and the bird opened its wings. Let's say it together. Are you ready? Away from the mountain, the great bird flew. Over the forests, the great bird flew. Over the waters, the great bird flew. To the island of the sun, the great bird flew. The bird flew down and landed. And as it landed, the older brother saw that that island was covered in pieces of gold. The sun had set, gold glistened. And he took the basket, and he picked up a piece of gold, and he put it in his basket. Should I take another one?
No.
Do you think he did or he didn't?
He did.
He did. My basket seemed so empty. Perhaps just another piece. And he picked up another piece of gold. And another piece of gold. And another piece of gold. And another piece of gold. Through the whole night he filled his basket with pieces of gold. And by the short time before dawn broke, his basket was heavy with gold. Now that's enough. That's plenty. But when he turned, the bird was gone. And the sun rose in the east. And the older brother was burned to a crisp. But back at home, the younger brother, he had all of his own farm and all of his brother's farm as well. And he lived in plenty. He had so many chickens. He was doing so well. And because he was kind and hard-working, he had so much that he shared it in the community with those others who needed it most. He lived happily ever after. That's the story from China, the island of the sun. This morning, we had 3 stories. We had the story from West Africa about how we got all of the stories. Because Anansi was silly, wasn't he? Hiding a box to his belly. We got all of the stories thanks to the children. And then we came to Poland, and we had the story of Krencipal and Krencipalka. With the needle in the hat, and the lobster in the basket, and the chicken in the sack, and the duck in the sack, and the pig in front, and the cow carrying Krencipalka, and the horse carrying Krencipal. Thank you for helping me with that. And finally, we had the story, The Island of the Sun, all the way from China. Do you know what? You are so wonderful at listening to stories. Not just listening, but you helped me to tell the stories, didn't you? I couldn't have told them without you. You're marvellous storytellers, I can see here at Haywards, aren't you? I wonder which of those stories you're going to remember. Or maybe you'll remember them all. Which story do you want to remember? Which story do you want to tell when you're in your, maybe when you're having a playtime later on, a break, or maybe when you're at home later with your family? Just whisper to the person next to you. The Island of the Sun? Krencipal and Krencipalka? Or how Anansi got all the stories and then we got all the stories? Which one? Well, I'm very lucky because today I'm going to meet the children from year 2. Again, we're going to do more storytelling together. Lots of creative things. And tomorrow, I'm going to see the children from year 1 again. So I'll see you tomorrow.